Real estate agents, welcome to my channel. So this has been a long awaited video because we always get asked to break down the apartment locator funnel process A to Z and what it actually looks like. So in just a moment, we're going to hop on my laptop and break down what current apartment locators are doing today for lead gen, what they do to work the lead, and then what they do after they get an approval and how they're organizing that. Okay, we're going to show you what normal apartment locators do, and then we're going to show you our sales funnel process as a company on what we think is the best way to operate a funnel for this kind of real estate niche. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop on my laptop right now. All right, so here we have the super basic locator funnel. And you can see here that most of these steps are manual. And so actually, when you do a bunch of manual stuff, that kind of defeats the whole definition of what a funnel is. And that's the problem in locating. So actually, this is misleading. Let me just change this real quick because this isn't a true sales funnel. A funnel should be an automated way to funnel a lead from the first stage to the second stage to the third to the fourth to close. And if you're doing everything manually, it's not truly a funnel. So actually, this is more like super basic locator process, or in other words, like what most of the industry is doing today. Okay, so it starts right here to the left. Don't worry about the other stages until we get to them. Okay, so most apartment locators, this is where their lead gen, the traffic starts. Okay, they're either running free organic ads, which, hey, that works. You can do six figures this way. But the problem is that most apartment locators, they don't necessarily know how to construct the right organic ad. So a lot of the times, as you probably know, you have a bunch of real estate agents that are just running ads on behalf of properties, and they're putting apartment deals on there as if it's the apartment posting. And so one of the biggest problems of running organic ads the wrong way and just posting a bunch of apartment complex deals is that you're confusing your prospects. And then the later stages that follow become more confusing, and you do more work having to explain to everyone, oh, you're actually an apartment locator, you're not the apartment complex. And so you're just building more work for you, okay? So the first way normal locators get traffic is they post free apartment deals on sites like Marketplace, Craigslist. We were actually the first company. I was the first person to discover Marketplace really for the whole industry. And then everyone started doing that over Craigslist. Okay. There's also other methods to do organic marketing, but most locators do Craigslist, Marketplace manually, or they do this other stage, which is lead from broker. Unfortunately, a lot of agents on the market today, they don't really know how to generate their own leads. So their only choice is to go to a locating firm and just wait for their broker to provide them leads to work. Okay. So whether they're getting the lead from the broker for free and just waiting patiently, or they're running organic ads in the wrong way on behalf of apartment complexes, regular locators are posting their phone number on here, or they're just messaging individually back and forth until someone calls them or they call the prospect. Again, unorganized, okay? So what happens in this stage here, manual call pitch, is because most agents confuse the renters on the free organic ad step. Now they have to jump on their phone, and I'm going to try to reenact some of this too. They jump on the phone and they have to explain to the client, oh no, I'm not actually the apartment complex. I'm an apartment locator. My service is free. And then they go into the pitch. I can still help you. It doesn't change your rent. And so the problem with doing a manual call pitch is that you're confusing prospects. Some prospects get annoyed or they get upset because they thought they were calling the apartment complex. Now you have to do more work pitching what you actually do. And how depressing is that? You're pitching to someone a free service when an alternative could be they appreciate you for providing the free service, okay? So we'll show you how this funnel evolves into what we're doing today. Let's just continue on for the sake of getting through the basic process of what most locators are doing today, okay? So they call, they do everything manually. It's hard work. It's kind of desperate. You're having to pitch a free service. Then it goes over to the second stage, okay? Say someone's interested. Now what most locators are doing is they have a piece of paper called a guest card, and over the phone, they're having to ask all these awkward questions like, what's your credit score? Do you have any evictions or broken leases? Do you have any felonies or misdemeanors? And they're jotting, everything that the client needs, including pre-qual. And here, if you stick with us for like a few more minutes, we're going to show you how to automate this step as well. This might be a long video, but I promise you it's going to be really valuable, and it'll at least give you insight on what most of the industry is doing and then what us and our students are doing to blow by these manual steps in a more automated way that makes us enjoy our job better. Okay, so they're pre-qualifying over the phone. Where do you need to live? Okay, Northwest Austin by Lakeline. Do you have any pets? They're doing all this manually. After that, they're going over to this step, send list after call. And we give this a thumbs down because what we've noticed as a company is that if you can somehow send over the property list of apartments that might be a good match while they're still on an appointment with you, your closing rate goes up. But sadly, most of the industry, they do this after they hang up the phone. That's how you kill your conversion, okay? So they get off the phone. I'll send you a list in just a minute. All right, now you're off the phone. Now they're separately pulling up their database, compiling and doing the actual locator work which in reality isn't hard. I mean, once you have pre-qual, you can put together a list of 5 or 10 apartments rather quickly on the database. Okay, so they email it out and then it brings them over to this stage right here, follow up manually. So now every day or days after, until the client they just spoke to manually makes a decision, goes and tours and applies, that locator is following up manually every single day. The big problem about this manual process is that when clients ghost you, which happens in every industry, even locating, I would still say that locating is generally an easier sales job compared to most industries, because it's not like we're really selling anything. We're just helping people for free, right? So obviously ghosting isn't as bad as if you were actually selling something for money in those industries. But ghosting still exists, even in the apartment locating niche. And so the problem here is that when clients start ghosting you, a percentage of them will inevitably, the manual locators or most agents doing this niche, they have no choice but to filter through their paper guest cards and then manually text and manually follow up with people. Now they're getting ghosted. They have to continue to manually follow up. And so the problem is that we're all human at the end of the day. And so if you don't have a scalable solution to automate the ghosting, you're just going to forget to follow up with some people once your stack of paper guest card continues to increase, right? All right, so then the final stage, finally, even after manual follow-up, someone will eventually apply to an apartment. They'll remember you over this manual phone call, even though you never showed face. You just called someone, and they're going to write your name down because you know what? Even if you do apartment locating in this super basic way, it's still such a good business naturally that you can still make money this way and hit $10,000 a month or more. That's the beautiful part about this industry, is that even if you do the whole process like a noob, you can still make money because at the end of the day, you're helping someone for free. They're renting an apartment. They're not going to take so long making up their minds as if they were purchasing a house. So you're still going to make money this way. Okay. And then most apartment locators get to this last step. They organize everything, not really in a good, sophisticated tool, but they use Trello because it's free. All right, that's most of the industry. And so they're going to jump on Trello, manually drag the contact over to approved column, and then that's kind of how they keep track of all the clients that have been approved and what's going on in their process. Everyone's using Trello manually because it's free. But free is not always better, and I'll show you that in just a second once we get into our funnel. So congratulations, you're still going to make money this way. But in just a second, I'm going to pull up the funnel that we've developed at NAL. We're the National Association of Locators. I guess I'm wearing my love shirt today. You get it? Locator, love. I have another shirt that says NAL. Anyways, in just a second, we're going to pull it up and we're going to show you how to actually work way less than this super basic locator process, but then earn double or triple the amount of money. Okay. So if a hardworking locator is making, say, $10,000 a month, which is absolutely realistic, even done this way, we're going to show you how our students are hitting 20, 30, and even inside of $40,000 months. But it's not just about the increased monthly production. It's about less work than this basic funnel. So let's pull up the NAL funnel right now and what we're teaching our students today. In 3, 2, 1, minimize. All right, here is the epic 300K locator funnel developed by NAL. Well, mainly I developed this, but my team did help a lot. So shout out to my team and the 5 executive coaches that are on my team. And also shout out to all of my VAs as well in different departments. All right, so let's break this down. And guys, this is the most optimized actual funnel that you can operate in apartment locating. So first of all, feel free to just steal this and make it work for yourself. And I know this might seem a little bit intimidating, but just this is how we're going to get through this together right now. Okay. Just don't worry about these top 2 steps. Don't worry about the top. Don't worry about the bottom. We're going to get through. These are only like the bottom. You see where it loops down into the bottom and then loops up into the top. These are just possible scenarios. But in a perfect world, it's really just where you're going to start and then just continue going from left to right. Like in a perfect world, this happens. The traffic sources are here. And then it goes to the next step, 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 and you close them. That's like the perfect scenario. And that does happen in a lot of our business. So it's not like the above and below. Sometimes that it doesn't even happen that way. But however, clients are always different. The behavior of some potential leads, they differ because people are different. And so even if people behave and act in a different way, we have scenarios built into this funnel where we're still going to generate the lead. We're still going to auto pre-qualify them and we're still going to close them, even though humans are different in their behavior, if that makes sense. So let's start from the beginning, and I'm going to walk through how it should go and then how we pivot when consumers or when renters, potential clients, make different decisions, okay? So the first part of this is the traffic source, okay? We're still using free organic ads. You don't have to get into paid ads right away. In fact, that's not even how we teach the business. Our students don't even start to do paid ads until they're doing $12,000 a month in total gross production. And then they get into paid ads. So really the red step doesn't happen for most beginners. So what we do is we run free organic ads, but the way we present our ads is more like service based. And we do still split test running apartment pictures, apartment deals, but at the bottom, as the call to action, we're always letting everyone know on our ads, hey, we're an apartment locating service. This is free. And this is why it's actually better to work with an apartment locator. Okay. And then we go into the pitch and like why they should work with us. And then we drop. This is what we do with our organic ads. 2 really quick takeaways. The first thing we do on like Marketplace, Craigslist, and other sites, it's not just the 2. We're having a lot of success on like Nextdoor. We're having a lot of success on other sites, but I want to try to keep this video short. Okay. So for the organic ads, we're putting QR codes as images so that someone can just scan that image if they're on their laptop and immediately hit our survey/VSL hybrid. So let's talk about like what this even is. Maybe you're not familiar with digital marketing and you don't know what a VSL is. I'm sure you know what a survey is. We're putting QR codes as the images so they can just scan right into the VSL. Okay. We're also putting a call to action, letting them know, hey, this is an apartment locating service. So no one's confused when they decide to become a lead for us. I'm going to go through the flow as if it's an organic lead. And then we'll come back and talk about like why we're doing a YouTube ad, why we're doing Facebook and Instagram for retargeting only. We'll talk about that here in a second. Okay. So free ad, let's say, I don't know, Marketplace, because you're probably familiar with that one. Okay. So Marketplace ad, what's cool about Marketplace is that they allow you to add a video walkthrough, which is Craigslist doesn't and other sites don't. So Marketplace, upload the video, upload a QR code to the image, make sure your call to action tells them that you're a locator service so you're not like pissing anyone off when they become a lead for you, okay? So that's how you really do organic ads well. The next step is we're pushing them not to a landing page where we waste time, not to a website where we waste time loading. We're sending them directly to a link, which is our survey/VSL. So it is a survey, but inside of the survey, we actually implant a VSL, a virtual sales letter video that's no longer than 2 minutes. Okay. And this VSL serves to be a video that explains what your service is all about as your leads are being pre-qualified. So in other words, the survey does all of the pre-qualifying for you. And then towards the end of the pre-qualifying process, we're adding a video of a minute or 2 that lets them know exactly the service that we offer. So that way, once they get to the next step of booking a Zoom call on our calendar, no one's like confused. Let's recap. Add to VSL survey right away. Before we were teaching like a website, but what we realized over time, since we've been coaching this industry for over 5 years, is that when you try to boot up a landing page, it's too much loading, it wastes time. And then it's like an additional step before they click the button, they're going to go to your survey anyways. So what we're doing nowadays is like add directly to a survey. We implant a VSL so there's no confusion. And that's kind of this step. We're seeing 40% better success when we skip booting up a website. Okay. After this step, 2 things can happen. They can just complete the survey and now we have all of the pre-qualifying automatically. Okay. So remember, we're not on the phone like a normal locator. The survey/the VSL video handles all of the pre-qualifying for us. And at the end of this video, if you actually stick around, I'll show you what the survey and VSL looks like that I'm actually using today. So then someone might, in the best case scenario, complete the whole survey. We have all their pre-qual, they saw the video, and then it automatically directs them to our calendar software page where they can select a time and a date and book a Zoom call. Now, in a perfect world, they actually book the Zoom call and then it goes over to the thank you page. Now, this is another landing page that says, hey, thank you for booking your Zoom call. And then below that, we add a warm-up video, okay? And so in this warm-up video, what we're asking them is this. We're asking them, hey, it's great that you booked a Zoom call and we're on the same page on how we can help you because you just saw the VSL a second ago. Okay, so we're going to remind you why it's awesome to work with us. We're going to help you for free. And then if you have any other incentives as a company, the way we do at NAL, we tell them, hey, we're going to hook up your utilities for you for free. This is a way we make extra money at NAL. So we let them know all of the incentives or bonuses on this warm-up video. And we're going to say, hey, we're going to set up your utilities for free. So make sure to show up on that Zoom call. And then number 2, once you actually move in, we're going to send you a $100 dining voucher. So while your stuff is in boxes, you get to go out and try local restaurants on us. That's another perk program. So if you don't have any incentives or perk programs as a company, then you wouldn't say that. But you would still say, hey, thanks for booking the Zoom call. We're going to help you for free. It's going to be awesome. And then at the end of this warm-up video, this is what's super important, okay? And we finally implemented this like this year. We're also asking them, hey, go ahead and text us the word call me if you would rather not wait for your Zoom call and you want us to just call you right now. This has increased conversion like outrageously for us because remember, in a perfect world, someone watches the warm-up video and they go, okay, great, this company's really going to help me. They actually wait for their Zoom call in the future and then they show up and they go into this stage, 15-minute Zoom call. So in a perfect world, they actually show up. Of course, we have text and email and voicemail drop automations reminding them like a day before their call, an hour before their call, and then 10 minutes before their call, we text them the Zoom link to join. But I just wanted to keep this funnel like simple. So we're not adding the automation steps, okay? But in a perfect world, they actually show up to the Zoom call. Now, at this point, you can just do the apartment locator appointment that should really only take 10 minutes. Okay. So then what's powerful about this process is that you get to actually show face, see them, and it's proven that psychologically, when your leads see you over Zoom video, they just respect you more. They respect your time. They value the service because it's more intimate. It's kind of like this YouTube video. Imagine if you weren't looking at me right now, I would just be a voice, you know? And so it's more intimate when you conduct appointments like this. Now, remember, guys, the actual apartment locator appointment's super easy because at this point, you already have their pre-qualification and they've already seen your VSL. So like most apartment locators, you remember like when we were looking at the basic funnel, they're pitching and desperately explaining what they do and then getting all the embarrassing pre-qual, like if they have any evictions or broken leases. We don't do that on our Zoom calls because our systems do this automatically. So at this point, you have the list of their pre-qual, you already know what they're looking for, and they already know how you can help them thanks to the VSL. Right? And the warm-up video, like kind of reminded them what the deal is. So by the time you're here, everyone knows the deal. You're just going, hey, I know what you're looking for. I just wanted to say hi. You review the pre-qual just to confirm that it's true. Do you actually want to live 5 minutes from Lakeline? Oh, no, you want to live 15 minutes from Lakeline in Northwest Austin. Okay, great. And then you make a note in your CRM while you're doing this Zoom call. So these calls are easier. You're just confirming stuff. And the whole point of a Zoom call as a locator is just to show face, build rapport, and make sure that the client respects you because they get to see you. That's the whole point. It reduces ghosting in itself. Okay. Now, in a perfect world, they go over to follow-up stage. So you did the appointment, you sent the list actually on the Zoom call with them. You're not hanging up and then randomly they get an email. You're doing this on the Zoom call. That's what's going to increase your conversions. Okay. Then you go over to this step right here of follow-up. But instead of like following up manually as if we don't know what we're doing because we're noobs, what we're going to do is we're going to utilize either NAL video, which is our version of Loom. And by the way, this video right now, how I'm recording my screen and showing my face, I'm using NAL video. So this is what we would record and send over to clients over text and email for ultimate follow-up. This stage is like just as important as the Zoom call stage. Okay. So you need to use a tool like NAL video, or at the very least, use Loom. Loom is free for your first 25 videos. Okay. So you would use Loom. Don't like text someone a follow-up. That's important, but we automate the texting and the emails through our CRM. I don't have time to get into all of that because we're just dissecting this funnel. But the way you actually manually follow up that's effective is you film a Loom video like the one you're watching right now. Okay. Film a Loom or an NAL video and send that to clients. So all the time, what we do in this stage is if a client's telling us that they're interested in apartment A, I don't know, let's say the Montera in North Austin, I'm going to hop on the Montera website and I'm going to record my screen like this. And I'm going to say, what's up, client? I know you're interested in the Montera. So I just wanted to show you some of the floor plans that are available. I'm going to go to floor plans. I'm going to scroll down here and like show them all the live pricing so I can close them better from home. That's the whole point. Okay. So I'm going to say, hey, look, the best rate you can see right here is like $15.49. I'm going to zoom in on it like that and say like, look, it looks like it's 1107. Let's go find it on the map. And I'll show them, look, 1107 is like right over here in the corner. Right. So this is what you do to follow up better. And so we're using NAL video as a tool that you're seeing right now. We send that over to the client. It allows us to instantly share our screens and our face and text it to someone without having to upload the video and let it render. Okay. So it's really, really powerful. That's why there's a fire emoji right there. Okay. And then after they follow up, they're going to choose an apartment and apply. Well, then that's the whole job really. But we're going to tag them in our pipeline because we're actually using a sophisticated CRM with like the tagging capability. And then from that tag, other automations fire, it organizes them on the collections pipeline. And then our collections team kind of takes over from there. And the fact that we can tag someone approved here at the end, it also allows other automations to fire off automatically while we sleep. So like the utility concierge program gets fired automatically. The NAL rebate gets fired automatically. And all we really have to do is just like tag them approved. Okay. So that's like perfect world. What happens sometimes in our business. Okay. Let's just recap all of that. They come in through a free ad. Maybe they click the website, but sometimes like Facebook won't let you like actually put your website link to your survey in the ad. So then we're uploading QR codes on the images. However they scan in, they're entering the survey/VSL hybrid. Okay. In an ideal world, they complete it, they go to book a Zoom call, they see the warm-up video, we do the Zoom call, we follow up with them using the tool like Loom, and then that's it, we close them. That's in a perfect world. But this is what happens sometimes as well. And we don't want to just not close people because they're doing different behavior. So let me show you another scenario of what could happen, okay? They get an ad, they start completing the survey, the name, the email, the phone number, where they want to live, their credit score, their background issue, and then someone just quits. They're like, this is too long, and they X out. what happens when that happens? Okay. If you're using a sophisticated CRM that can recognize partial submissions and still count them as an opt-in, then it shoots out right here, partial opt-in. So like as long as you get their name, email, and phone number, the tool we use will still capture them as an organic opt-in. So we still got the lead, even though they didn't really complete the full survey and they never watched the VSL. So cool, we still got them. What do we do with just their name and their email and their phone number? Well, we're going to shoot off automations using our CRM that's going to text them, it's going to email them, it's going to voicemail drop like, hey, you were so close. We were going to help you for free and do all this amazing stuff. Remember? Click right here and then just go book your call. And so let's say they get a text and they're like, okay, fine, I'll continue. Then they click. Okay, our system is going to shoot them over to the calendar page, book a Zoom call. But then the question is, wait a second, but they didn't complete the whole survey. So how do they have to restart the whole process, Pierre? Well, no. If you have the right tool, we're going to turn on sticky cookie for the survey. And so what this is telling our system is that like, hey, if they quit on like question 5 of the survey, take them back to question 5 of the survey. Like don't make them restart again. That doesn't make any sense, right? So you have to have the right tool to do this, but it shoots them over to the calendar if they completed the survey. If not, it takes them back to like question 5 of the survey and they can continue where they left off. That's what's amazing. And then hopefully they continue to book the Zoom call. Okay. Now, once they book the Zoom call, because we asked them again automatically, now they're going to see the warm-up video, okay? And remember, the warm-up video warms them up again, explains the service, talks about your perk programs if you have any incentives that are cool. And then what it's going to do at the end of the video, remember, the most valuable part is that it's going to say, hey, call me to this number if you just want us to call you right now and get started, and you can skip waiting for your Zoom call, okay? Once they text that, the system is going to initiate something called Call Connect. And you can only do this if you have a good CRM like Locator IQ, not a basic CRM that like might not even offer the Call Connect feature, okay? So if we set up an automation in IQ, and if someone texts us the word call me, it's going to do the Call Connect. And what's going to happen is that your CRM, if it's smart enough to do this, like Locator IQ is, the IQ is going to call you, the agent. You're going to pick up, it'll say, call from Locator IQ. Someone wants to talk to you right now. You click a button, and then if you confirm, then it calls the lead, and then it merges the calls together, and then it creates a manual call. But you see, on this manual call, once they're at this stage, they've already lived through these other stages. So like they've still completed the survey, they still watch the VSL, they still watch the warm-up video. So if we ever even do manual calls at NAL, they already know the service and how great we are because of the steps prior. So this manual call is just like, hey, yeah, I saw that you wanted me to call you now instead of waiting for the Zoom call. That's cool. And then you just help them from there because they specifically told you that they don't want to wait for the Zoom call. That way we're not missing out on those leads. Okay. So then you still have a chance to do it on the phone. And a lot of the times, if leads ever reach this stage, I just ask them like, hey, are you by your laptop? Can I just shoot you a quick Zoom link? And that way I can share my screen, show you the database, and we can compile this within 5 minutes together. And a lot of the times they say yes. And so if that's the case, then I just pull up Zoom, like I click right here, I pull up Zoom, you just click new meeting, start, and then you just hit like share Zoom link and you text it to them. So they can jump on a Zoom call with you then if you want to do it that way. Okay, or you can work them manually. After you work them manually, you send over the list, you're entering the follow-up stage. And so here you continue to follow up with them. They're organized in your CRM neatly, and you're utilizing NAL video or Loom for like the better follow-up. So they can see your screen and you're building more rapport. Okay. And then you close them and you tag them approved and all the other automations fire. So that's kind of like what would happen if someone is in this stage, they don't want to wait for their Zoom call and they text you like, hey, call me. Okay. So it's important to have this warm-up video. Okay. What happens if someone is waiting for their Zoom call, but then they don't show up to the Zoom call? It's a no-show. Okay. If there's a no-show, we have an automation built where the system recognizes, hey, they never showed up for their planned Zoom call. And then what's going to happen is because of that no-show action that we can recognize, we're going to start running Facebook and Instagram retargeting ads where we can present them sponsored ads like, hey, you were so close. We were going to do all this amazing stuff for you for free this month. Why don't you just go ahead and book another Zoom call, right? So this is where retargeting comes in. We're using Facebook and Instagram only. And then if they click the ad, it shoots them back to book a Zoom call because look, we already have their survey answers from before. And because we turned on Sticky Cookie, the system recognizes all of the answers from before. Okay, so then they book another Zoom call, and they go through the whole process again, hopefully all the way through this time because we're retargeting to them on Meta. All right. Now, these two are connected because, even though we're running Facebook ads to them, we're still going to text them and email them and voicemail drop them if they no-show. You just build that into the same automation. It's very easy to do so if you understand digital marketing. Okay. So great. That we've almost talked about everything. I think, except for like what we're doing with paid ads. Okay. So real quick, this is the only way paid ads like fit into this funnel. Cause remember, you can do this organically for free. You don't really need paid ads. But if you want to run paid ads because you just want to supercharge your traffic initially, this is what you would do. You would run a paid YouTube ad, and that's it. We get this question a lot from like non-students of ours that have never been trained by us. And the question is like, why are you running YouTube ads? Why not Google sponsored? Why not run Facebook ads to a cold audience or an Instagram ad? We get this a lot too. People are like, oh, Instagram, there's a lot of renters on there and they're young and hip and I want to run cold ads on Instagram. No, the reason we're using YouTube ads specifically is because Google owns YouTube and Google has an actual filter that you can select when you run paid ads that says, show to people that we deem have an interest that are going to rent soon. Meta doesn't have that option when it comes to paid ads. And so if you're running a Facebook or Instagram ad on a cold campaign, that doesn't even make sense because this is why Facebook and Instagram, this is why the filter doesn't exist. Like show to people that you think are renting soon. No one looks up apartments on Instagram or Facebook. I mean, it's not really. They're not looking up luxury apartment near me, cheap apartments near me, I need to rent soon. People are typing that stuff in on Google. That's why Google, because they own YouTube, they allow you to run video ads on the YouTube platform, but you can still filter in the same way. That's why we run cold campaigns initially on YouTube only. If you try to run a Facebook ad initially, you don't know what you're doing when it comes to the apartment locating industry. You just wouldn't do that. Okay. The other problem with apartment locating and getting into paid ads is that people just rent apartments so quick. They only have a 30 or 60 day window where someone is even interested in renting an apartment. How do I know that? It's because most apartments, think about your local market, they require a 2-month notice to vacate. And so if you have renters that are going to vacate soon within that 2-month or less window, because some renters are like proactive and they actually put in their notice, in advance, but it's only a 30 to 60 day window. So if you know that, that means someone that's about to put in their notice, now they're in the market to rent a different apartment because they want to move, you can only close them within a 60-day window. So that's why we're using YouTube specifically so we can make sure that they have an intent on actually renting soon. You can't filter for that on Facebook. So you would never run a cold ad on Meta, if that makes sense. Okay, so YouTube ad, we're using YouTube because that's where you present a video ad. And video ads convert better than just some Google sponsored text, right? People also dedicate more time on the YouTube platform in general, okay? They see the ad, they click the ad, boom, it pushes them right into the survey VSL hybrid. Nothing else really changes throughout the whole process. And then, hey, if they partially opt in and don't complete the full survey, then we're going to text them, email them, Facebook and Instagram retarget them, and then bring them back into completing the survey, booking this call, and then presenting them the warm-up video. If they text us, call me now, then it does the call connect where your CRM calls you. Then you can take the manual call. But hopefully in an ideal world, they just wait for their Zoom call, boom, right there. And then hopefully you just do the Zoom call. If they no-show, then it spits them right back below running retargeting on Meta. Because here's the thing, it's okay to run retargeting on Facebook and Instagram because when people waste time, they're going to be scrolling Instagram and Facebook. So it's okay to do retargeting campaigns once you already have the contact's info to retarget to in the first place. You would just never do this if it was cold traffic, like over to the left, this is cold traffic, okay? And so you can retarget to them on Meta, boom, and then you shoot them back up here. Technically, you could retarget on YouTube as well, but this is working for us. And if it's not broken, And so then they go through the process, they book a Zoom call, you follow up with them, and then you close them. So I hope you guys appreciated this big overview on like the whole process on how we're teaching apartment locating. That way you can earn multiple six figures, not just 100K anymore. We have students that do over 300K a year, just like our head coach, Alex, right down here. He does over $300,000 a year as a full-time apartment locator. That's why he's our head coach. Say hello to my other team right here. These are other coaches inside of our program that have expertise in all kinds of different areas. So say what's up to my executive team. And if you guys want help with this is what we do full time. We locate ourselves and we teach apartment locators, or we teach existing realtors or agents how to pivot over to locating. Because the truth is, while you can still make money doing this basic apartment locator process, once you kind of evolve and upgrade into this funnel, your workload lowers, your average income, the production increases, and then you really start enjoying the job better. Because if you ever even take a manual call up here, these leads have already seen your ad, they've seen your VSL, they've seen the warm-up video. Man, they're so warmed up with you that by the time we even ever do a manual phone call, then they just know so much about us. So you're not having to sit there and like desperately pitch to everyone how you can help them for free, like a very beginner apartment locator. Anyhow, I guess I'll leave it like this. We used to have like two main offers. We sold a full masterclass for $2,500, and then we sold an 8-week live coaching program for $8,500. We're doing something different now, which is amazing. And even with those two core offers, we've signed up over 600 agents into our NAL program. So that makes us the #1 most successful apartment locating training company in the world. No one has trained more locators than us. By far, it's not even close. Not even the biggest firms that you might be thinking of. So when it comes to locator training, that's what we're best at. We just released an amazing affordable offer to join our school community. And if you join school, it's only $67 a month, I think right now, unless it increased, but it should be around $67 a month. You don't have to invest the full price like over 600 agents have. You can get started in our school community. We host bi-weekly live Q&As. We give you access to our $1,500 locator crash course. We give you access to a bunch of mini courses in there, some that are taught by my other executive coaches on here. And it's a really great way to receive support. We'll even book a 30-minute kickoff call with you to welcome you into the school community because we take it very, very seriously. That's all we do. I hope this video added some value. Feel free to try to implement this funnel yourself if you want, but if you need help, this is where we can help you the most. So there should be a link in the pinned comments or somewhere, and you are so welcome to try out our school community. We have a 7-day money-back guarantee, so there's literally no risk. You could get started for a week, think it's not for you, and get your money back. It's only $67. I hope this was helpful, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Hey there, I almost forgot that I told you if you made it to the end of the video, I was actually going to show you our actual survey/VSL hybrid funnel from the start and what that actually looks like. So let's do that right now. So this is a school community, by the way, if you guys aren't familiar. And right now the price is still only $67 a month. Until we get to 200 members, then it's going to go up to $77. So we're at 190. There's Alex, our head coach. There's Coach Tina. And then here's what you get in the school community. So you get the crash course. We used to sell this course for $1,500, but it's just included in the school subscription now. And then there's a shadowing module as well. You see this one, it says shadowing. This is where you can see us actually perform Zoom calls and follow up with clients live, like in real time. So we actually practice what we teach. And then every script, like what to say on the Zoom call, how to follow up, etc., you get access to that as well. And that's a little module right here called scripts, templates, and more. And you can also network with a lot of locators that are active in here. And I mean, look, we're way past hours and it looks like there's still 4 of us online right now. You also get to attend bi-weekly group Zoom Q&As as well. So this is just a lot of value for only $67 a month right now. Anyhow, let me boot up Locator IQ. This is the tool. And we actually have a free Locator IQ masterclass taught by Coach Tina as well. So Locator IQ, this is the all-in-one CRM that we use to do everything. Funnels, websites, surveys, forms, social media, content uploading, absolutely everything. So if we pull up this funnel, it's probably important to say that back a couple years ago, we were teaching several different tools to get all this functionality done. The survey, I think we were teaching Typeform. The book a call calendar, we were using Calendly, that's 2. The thank you page to host the warm-up video, we were using ClickFunnels for the funnel builder. And then all this automation stuff you see here with the green arrows, we were using ActiveCampaign. You might be familiar with like Follow Up Boss or Lion Desk or something like that. Up here, the Call Connect, we were using either Salesforce or Ring Central. That's like 5 tools right there in order to bridge the calls and do the Call Connect feature. And then you've got your pipeline organizer. So we were using like either Salesforce or Trello. That's like 7. And then more tools for other stuff like DocuSign and stuff. So it was kind of overwhelming in the past. But now, since we've taught over 600 students, everyone, it was like unanimous. They really wanted one tool to do everything with one login, not like 8 different tools that we just discussed. And so we actually get all this functionality on the Call Connect, the Sticky Cookie, the survey, everything, the pre-qual. We get that done by using this tool, Locator IQ. It's an all-in-one like beast of a CRM that does everything. And what's really cool is I'm about to show you the survey like I promised, but the second you guys sign up for IQ, we can give you the survey pre-built for locators. We can give you a sales funnel pre-built for locators. All your automations are done. So you don't actually have to build any of that funnel from scratch. It's just ready. You go in there and you lightly edit like the name of your company and stuff. You want to confirm every step, but it's pre-built for you. So that's what's really awesome. We're really happy to release Locator IQ because it helps us truly with our coaching and to onboard new students. They don't have to go through what really took most of the program is setting up all the infrastructure. We just refer them to Locator IQ, and the second they sign up, 90% of everything is pre-built. So it's really helping us as coaches a lot. It lessens what's on our plate every single week with new signups. So it's really great. And it also saves you a lot of money as opposed to combining all of those many tools because the software subscriptions add up. Locator IQ starts as low as $99, and then you can pay $199 if you want like more features, more users, more contacts, and 24/7 live support on Zoom. So anyhow, let me go ahead and show you the tool. Let's click on the apartment search survey. All right, we're gonna click here. And so this is where a lead would land on. If say you were running a YouTube ad, you would share this link. This is the survey link, and then they land here, or maybe it's an organic ad and they land here. Okay. So right away, what we do is we leave this graphic on and it just sticks to the top. So they know like the incentives. So let a licensed agent help find your next apartment on a 10-minute Zoom call. This is a free service. We're always kind of reminding them that, and then any kind of incentives that you might have as a company below. So for us, we give everyone a $100 restaurant voucher that only really costs us $9. The reason we're able to do that is because of this program here. You see NAL Connect. This is taught in the school community. You can join this as well. So we're utilizing NAL Connect to even be able to offer that. Okay, so here what we're doing is we're asking name, email, phone number all together stacked, because people just use Google passwords or LastPass to automatically fill this out in an instant. Okay, so let's do a test and then continue. And then here we're asking all of the pre-qualifying questions one at a time. Okay, so select your move-in date, they select the move-in date, then they go next. And now it's one by one so we can increase our conversion. So, okay, they want to be north, next. How many bedrooms? Okay, 2, let's continue. Type your job location, domain, and you guys can configure these questions. Like if you don't want to ask something, you just yank it out of your survey inside of Locator IQ. What's your max rent? Like the budget, continue. Your credit score, okay, 700. And so it's asking them all this stuff one by one because that's proven to like increase your conversion rate. If you just ask a bunch of questions stacked up on each other, like 15 questions, no one's going to really fill that out. Okay, so then total gross income, 9,000, and then how many pets? 2. And so this is what makes IQ really powerful. You can actually use a 4K video inside of your survey. Like most survey softwares just won't let you do this, but IQ does, right? So here we're presenting them the VSL. Okay, so you saw that. We got all their pre-qual, we got their name, phone number, and basic contact info, and now we're presenting them the VSL all inside of the same place. So we're avoiding booting up a website, booting up a sales funnel, and it saves more time, and it's just quicker. Like when you load up surveys like this, the loading time is way quicker. So we're seeing higher conversions. So that's what's beautiful about like our hybrid, right? A lot of digital marketers will tell you run an ad, then to a landing page, and then wait for it to load, and then put the video there, and then they click a button, and then they go to the survey. But that's just an additional step that wastes time. And so what we do is a survey VSL hybrid. And that's what makes us unique here at NAL. We're seeing 40% better conversion rate, okay? So that's what I'm talking about right here. Let me just play the VSL just so you can get like an idea of like how simple this can actually be. If you're looking to rent an apartment in our city as soon as tomorrow or within the next 60 days, we're going to do 2 amazing things for you if you're a new client of ours. You already know we're going to help you find a better apartment for the best price point. That's our main free service. But the 2 things we're going to do is number 1, we're going to make sure your utility accounts are set up with the best vendors. So on move-in, you're ready to go and you're saving the most amount of money on your utility bills. That's huge. Number 2, we're going to hook you up with a $100 dining voucher because we know when you move in, your kitchen supplies, pots and pans, they're going to be in moving boxes. So go out to eat on us. You get a $100 dining voucher to try out local restaurants, but only for the rest of this month if you're a new client of ours. So all you've got to do to let a licensed real estate professional assist you on finding the right apartment in our city is click the button below, complete the survey, and we will take over from there. We're super excited to meet you on our scheduled call. What are you waiting for? Claim your bonus offers and become a new and happy client of ours. See you on the next page. Okay, so you get the idea. So now when they hit next and they go watch, oh yeah, here we do like a micro commitment just because they help in digital marketing. Will you promise to be on time? Yes, I will make sure to be on time. It does help. Okay, submit. So now it takes us to the actual calendar. And this is where we were teaching like Calendly before, but then that costs money. But so we can do everything still in Locator IQ. This is the IQ calendar. Okay, so it goes here. Now they get to book a call and they're going to hit select. If this was a real lead, their name and last name, all this info here would be automatically pre-filled because of the sticky cookie feature. So they don't have to like do it twice, okay? Then they hit schedule call and boom, now they're booked. So that's sort of what the survey looks like right here. And then that calendar page is right here. So then the thank you page, once they actually go ahead and submit this, it's going to redirect to a landing page, the warm-up video. And this is where we, warm them up and say, hey, if you just want us to call you right now, text us. Call me, and then it initiates the call connect because IQ is cool like that. And if you guys noticed, let me show you on Locator IQ here. So Locator IQ is a phone. So you don't need like Ring Central or Salesforce is one that a lot of people are familiar with, or Nextevia, whatever, right? So you can dial on Locator IQ, and this is what does the phone connect feature. And the calls are automatically recorded and saved to the contact. So that's awesome. You don't have to pay extra for that feature. Okay, but hopefully they just attend their Zoom call and then you don't even have to do the call. None of this above matters if they actually attend the Zoom call. And then it goes over to like continue to follow up with them. And then that's it. They got approved and then you made your commission. And remember, apartment locator average commission is anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 if the apartment's downtown and paying high, right? So those are sort of the earnings. That's the funnel. And I showed you everything like I promised inside of Locator IQ. You saw the calendar, the survey, the VSL, and everything. So if you guys want to learn this stuff, remember, before you had to pay us thousands of dollars for us to train you. But what we're trying out now, just to spread the word out about this niche, is just giving you access to our $1,500 course, which is free inside of the school community. So all you have to do before the price increases at 200 members, because right now we're at 190, click the link below this video or something, and just sign up to the school community. You get to book a free 30-minute kickoff call with Alex, our head coach, as well, for no additional cost. And hey, if it's still not a good fit for you, within a week, you can cancel and get all your money back, because we have a no-risk 7-day money-back guarantee. I hope this was helpful. Drop me a comment if you think we could have improved the sales funnel in any way. I'm curious to know your thoughts on like what we've developed over the 6 years we've been teaching this. See you later.